That's ISO.
Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some packs, I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up, I'm with the gang, we taking shots off the rebound. Fucking my post, the same now.
You got new lights?
No, I'm using my computer monitors that's behind my camera. I just open up a window browser and like the glow from the browser. You can't get no more ghetto than that.
No, you can't. The only thing you could do is put a broken monitor and set your good monitor on top of it. That's the only way to ghetto-fy it even more.
The thing is, I have 3 monitors, so like,
yeah,
I have one directly in front of me and 2 on the side. So I just open like a blank Google Docs page.
That's funny.
And so, yep, that's how we roll, man.
That's
Tough
so
times. Awesome. Welcome to the Cigar Advisors Podcast. My name is John.
I'm Matt.
And this is our first episode of 2023. Sorry if you missed us. If you watched my mini-sode earlier, kind of explained that both me and Matt are under the weather. We're trying to recover from the holidays and from getting whatever is going around. Yeah. So I'm still, as you could tell from my voice, I'm still pretty raspy. I think I got bronchitis or an upper respiratory infection. I think my wife got bronchitis and now has walking pneumonia. So it's a little rough over here. So
I had the sniffles. And it was bad.
Sniffles.
I had the sniffles.
Yeah.
And,
so I'm not drinking anything too crazy today. Just the Diet Pepsi. Not smoking, obviously. But doesn't mean we're not going to talk about cigars. We will have to put our cigar. Do you want to put our cigar challenge on hold, or did you pick up the cigar that you were going to smoke for the cigar challenge?
So I was able to kind of roll this into one because you had the episode kind of queued up of doing our inexpensive cigars any good,
right?
And then we have the cigar challenge. Did you want to roll that into one episode or do 2 episodes?
I feel like because we're not smoking a cigar tonight, just because we're both shitty, we should probably hold off for our cigar challenge.
Sounds good to me.
And we'll just roll with our subject for tonight.
Perfect.
Did you? Aside from the cigars that we're going to talk about in our inexpensive cigar section, is there anything else that you picked up throughout the week, alcohol or cigar wise?
I did. I sure did. I grabbed it out of the humidor actually by mistake. I picked up a Drone 1926. Wrong camera. There we go. It's kind of dark, but Drone 1926 comes in this really cool tube, which I like a lot. Signed by Jose O. Patron.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Cool one. That was actually a gift. I didn't actually pick that up, but it was a gift. And then I forgot to grab it. I picked up the Rare Pink. This is the Queen of Hearts. Pretty excited about that. Picked up a few.
Looks like the size of my wiener.
Yes, just for comparison, guys. The same color too.
How much did that run you?
We don't want to talk about that. No, it was like $50, I think.
Ooh, man, that is a steep price point for a Asian wiener size cigar.
Hey, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time.
Yeah.
Talking about drink.
Um, as far as what I picked up, I didn't pick up any cigars in the past couple of weeks. Haven't really been out of the house. However, if you did catch my mini-sode today, or whenever you're watching this, I did release a mini-sode talking about what I picked up at Total Wine to start my cocktail bar. So, I'll just go over the spirits that I picked up. I picked up the Wild Turkey 101 Bourbon, the
That's
Wild
a good
Turkey
one.
101 Rye,
Another good
and
one.
the St. Pete just or old is it Old St. Pete
Yeah.
Sunset Gin, which is a gin that's infused with Florida oranges. So yeah, so I could finally expand beyond a whiskey sour.
I'm so proud. Proud
So
dad.
I'm excited. I mean, I order different stuff when I'm out, but like I never really keep alcohol here in the house. So we are starting our journey.
So exciting. Like I'm
Yeah,
actually looking forward to those weekly episodes that you're
yeah,
going to do, the mini episodes of, well, I don't know if it'll be weekly, but whenever you do your updates of your
yeah,
like
yeah.
bar expanding, I'm actually pretty
Mhm.
excited to watch those.
Yeah, I have some things. It's funny because like a lot of the mini episodes that I have thought out
Yeah.
have nothing to do with cigars. It's all about cocktails. I'm like, man, maybe we should have thought something different than the cigar advisors because we talk about alcohol a lot on this show. So
It goes hand in hand. It like for me, like they're cigars, right? It's cigars, it's smoking. But there's so much more to it than just that. Like there's the lounge part of it, the experience of it, which is really what started this. Like we started
yeah,
this with cigar lounges and
yep,
creating something to help people find a good lounge. And it came into this podcast or whatever. And we're doing it just for fun, but it really is. There's so much more to a lounge besides just the actual cigar. Like you get
right,
in there, yes, and it's great to talk about. And there's, just I just pull these off the top shelf. I mean, you have so many different ones, right? I mean, tons of
yep,
different types of cigars out there, different shapes. I mean, right here I have at least 5 different shapes and sizes. So it's like, then as you're sitting there and you're having cocktails with people and conversation and talking about different things. I mean, we talked about one great experience that we had talking to some guy that I think he was a butcher, if I remember right, and his wife was a nurse. I mean, being a butcher and a wife have a butcher and a nurse have nothing to do with cigars.
yep.
But
We had a really good conversation. He bought us alcohol. I bought him a
he did.
cigar. So
I drank them and smoked them.
yeah, you
Didn't
drank
buy
some
anybody
really,
anything.
really, really bad cocktails.
Oh man, those were bad. I actually forgot
I
about that.
I just drunk a Guinness, so I was safe. But
Gosh, that thing was terrible. I would
you
love to look up what that was.
you had to play up the, oh man, this is really good.
It was so
I,
bad. Gosh, it was terrible.
yeah, I don't even remember what it was, but I
I
just
wonder if they still
knew
have
from
that
the
drink.
I just remember from the look of that because they served it in a martini glass
Yeah.
and it looked like pinkish with like a hue of like red. I'm like, man, Matt got suckered in. He's not gonna like that shit at all.
Nope. And the
No.
drink before that, I think, was like I had like scotch. So I
Yeah,
went
yeah. And I hadn't been drinking. I was only drinking Coke that night, and
yeah.
then that guy bought me. He was drinking a Guinness, so I ended up getting a Guinness as well. So
That's like the one beer I don't like though, is Guinness.
it goes good with a cigar, just because it's very like
It tastes like
dark
coffee.
and yeah, exactly. But then again, you don't like coffee, and like it has loads of sugar and cream.
You
So
know what though? I don't think I told you. So, you know, with some marketing I've been doing lately, I've been meeting a lot of people at Starbucks. And doing that, I didn't want to look like, a dweeb, the outsider, not ordering a coffee. So I found one that I actually liked, and it was a caramel creme brulee. And Starbucks and I would order it, and I could get through it. Like I was doing great. And went back and I went to order it and they didn't have it anymore. Like I was
Yeah,
heartbroken.
that's a seasonal situation.
Yeah, I have no idea. Like I didn't know that. I thought like that was gonna be my go-to. And the lady's even like, well, I think we might be able to make it. She's like, but it might have some walnut in it. I'm like, I love walnuts. This is gonna be perfect. It tasted like garbage. It was so bad. Like I couldn't. It tasted like a pure like espresso shot. It was terrible.
I think they have a pistachio latte
Yeah, Precious
out
gets that.
now. I think you'd like that. I mean, it's sweet enough where I don't think you'd be like, this is because I feel like the reason why you don't like coffee is because of the bitterness.
Yeah.
Like I used to be like that. Like when I was younger,
When you're like
started,
7.
yeah, when I was like 7, I drank a lot of like when I drank my coffee, it had to be very sugary, like either like 3 or 4 equals if I had equal, or like a couple of scoops of sugar or whatever.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I find that my palate has completely switched. I still can't drink coffee black. I don't know how people drink coffee black. It's not for me. But like, 2 scoops of sugar and some cream. Like it doesn't have to be a lot of cream, but I don't like. I really don't like flavored coffees that much.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. But
So
the guy that I went to the cigar lounge with, he was telling me about, he's of Spanish descent, and he was telling me about how his family makes a cafe cubano. And he was like,
mhm.
you put a little bit of coffee in the bottom with sugar, and I want to say he said brown sugar, but I don't remember. And he's like, you muddle it and you make it almost like a syrup, and then you make the cafe cubano. And he's like, that is like the actual way that like his family has made it forever.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna try it. Well, I'm gonna
That
get him
sounds
to do
pretty
it,
good.
but I'm gonna try it. But I mean, it
Well,
sounds good.
yeah, yeah. Well, there's no cigar of the night. We're skipping that since we're both sick. Our cigar challenge will go whenever we're 100% okay. The only cigar news that's really come out that I really haven't kept up with is actually kind of behind since we're going on the 12th here. So, Sosa Family Cigars at Disney Springs officially closed its doors on the 2nd of January. Um, it ran for 25 years at Disney Springs. It was there when Disney Springs used to be Pleasure Island,
Yep.
and it no longer exists.
So it really sucks because Precious and Michaela, they like to go and shop. So we would go and eat there, like Planet Hollywood or whatever. And by the way, I live in Orlando, so this is like right. It's 25 minutes from my house. Um, but that would be like the place I could go and I could look around. They had a smaller humidor, but I could look around, pick up a couple things, lounge for a few minutes, and get to talk to people that were from all over the world. It was really cool. So for that to close, man, that really sucked. It really sucks.
Yeah, I feel bad because I used to live in Orlando too for almost 15 years, and I didn't actually. I've always meant to go, but I never got a chance to go. Check out. Um, the only other thing that I've like noticed trending, as far as news wise, is we talked about last episode. A lot of companies are increasing their prices of cigars,
Yeah.
and that's trending with a lot of other companies. Drew Estate, EP Carrillo, so there is going to be a hike in cigar prices. I'm assuming that that's just due to kind of catching up with lost production during COVID, and then stuff like that. Maybe like losing crops during that period of time and whatnot. So
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's
sucks.
labor cost too. Because I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
even though a lot of it happens overseas, the cost of labor here just in the U.S. for distribution and gas prices for diesel to get them everywhere they need to go, that it's
Yeah, and if you figure like during COVID, even though it was like a year or 2 years,
right.
you had cigar rollers not rolling cigars. You had a lot of their crops and production stopped, so there's a lot of delay, and I'm sure a lot of those companies took a big hit. So you know,
That's
I would not be
tough.
surprised to see your cigar that you used to get for like $10 maybe now is like 12 or 13, something like that. So which
So
kind
do
of
you,
rolls us into our subject of the night. So
I just have one question though, like
sure.
for predicting the future. Do you think we're going to start seeing a lot more people smoking a more cost-effective cigar coming into 2023 because of the increase in prices?
Um in my opinion, I think that people have always smoked cost effective cigars.
Mhm.
And by cost effective, I usually mean like anything below like $15, $10, something like that, and
Yeah.
below. And it really all depends on the person. I think a lot of people, when they do reach for that $10 and up cigar, it's usually like in a lounge situation or um, celebrating with friends or whatnot. I highly, ooh man, I highly doubt that like people that are smoking on the regular,
Mhm.
they're not smoking super expensive cigars while they're mowing their lawn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Like
Yeah, they're not smoking a a,
like
a pink.
even when I'm doing stuff like in my garage and stuff like that, I'm not pulling out my Drew Estate or whatever
Right.
because that's something that I want to sit down and enjoy with a drink, smoke with a friend, um, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, I was curious about that. I mean, most people I think do it as like a hobby or
Yeah.
it's a luxury. So I don't know. I was just
I
curious.
think I think definitely like there will be a shift, but I mean I feel like people have already been doing it, so it's not gonna be like a huge surprise.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right. So how are we gonna do
But
this? Your
like I
list,
said,
my
that
list.
that leads us into our
Ready?
subject of the night, which is inexpensive cigars. Are they good? Um, cigars that are the best bang for your buck. Um, and inexpensive cigars don't have to be bad. Um, even like your bundle sticks are relatively still good. They're still considered premium cigars. So, me and Matt both came up with I think five, right?
Yes.
Five.
I did 4.
Okay, so I did five, and I also have a couple of honorable mentions that I didn't put on my list. Excuse me. Um, so we're gonna run through some inexpensive cigars. Now these are cigars that are $10 or less, um, and they are basically cigars that you can pick up at any store and will not break the bank. Um, they're very still enjoyable cigars that you could have at a lounge, but you won't feel guilty if you're doing stuff around the house. Um, so we can just go back and forth if you wanna run off one and I'll run off one. I'll go first since I have an extra one. Um, so the first cigar that I'm going to talk about comes from, you guessed it, Drew Estate. So Drew Estate has I feel like they have a couple of different tiers of cigars. They have their undercrown that's kind of like the middle of the road, where like not as far as like how do I say this, like they're all premium cigars, but like some of them, like they hold in higher ranking than others. So like your undercrown is about your average middle of the road. um and the Liga Privada line is considered their top of the line brand of cigar. um and so you can get a Liga Privada Papas Fritas for $6 in a Corona size, which is 4.5 by 44. The wrapper is Connecticut broadleaf, binder is Brazilian, and the filler is from Nicaragua and Honduras. Now, if you know anything about Drew Estate and their Liga Privada line, a lot of their different Liga Privada releases are very sought after, especially like the T52, the Year of the Rat, and stuff like that. But the Papas Fritas is a really cool looking cigar, and it's short. So it's not going to take you a lot of time to smoke, but you still get that luxury of smoking a Liga Privada cigar for a not Liga Privada price.
Good cigar. So sticking kind of with that, I have the Nica Rustica. This is in a Robusto. It is about $6. $6 actually exactly what I paid for it. $6. The wrapper is Habano. So that's a Maduro wrapper. The binder is also Nica Habano. The filler is Colombia. No, that's not right. Okay, can we edit that out? Crap, I was
It
reading
doesn't
the.
sound right. Are you reading the wrong?
It totally was. God, I gotta hold on. Let me fix my screen. Okay, so I have the Nica Rustica. This is $6. It's actually exactly what I paid for it, and this is 5 by 54. So 5 inches, 54. Brazilian binder, Nicaraguan filler, and Ecuadorian wrapper. So, and I've actually had this one. This is actually a very good smoke.
Yep.
This actually came in that set, right? That we got.
Yeah. So both me and Matt, when they released this Nica Rustica line, this is specifically the Nica Rustica Adobe. They had it in one of their Drew Estate release boxes, the Drew Estate Live. And what if you're not familiar with what the Drew Estate Live is? Sometimes they do these live events on YouTube, and they stream where before the actual date you can purchase a Drew Estate Live like bundle. So for example, our bundle came with a cutter, it came with a 3 cigar holder, um, came with a lanyard, and it came with 3 unbanded cigars. So you don't know, like, and they're different sizes. So I think there was a Robusto, a Toro, and a Gordo. And what they do is on that live date, they make an announcement of exactly what the cigar is. But leading up to that date, you have these 3 cigars that you can open and try and experience it yourself before actually it being released to the public. So which pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. That was fun. That was a good experience.
Yeah. Yeah. They actually just did one recently. I think it was yesterday actually. And they did one for the M81, the the Metallica collaboration cigar.
Which surprisingly is a really good cigar, by the way. Definitely not
Cool.
in this price range, but it's
I have
really
to
good.
try it out.
It's so good. I was surprised, pleasantly surprised.
So the next cigar that I'm going to go over is the Joya de Nicaragua Cabineta. It is a $7 cigar in size 5x50 Robusto. The wrapper is actually two different wrappers. So it is half Ecuadorian Connecticut and half Nicaraguan Criollo. And the binder and filler are both a Nicaraguan. Now, I picked this cigar not only because it is $7 from Joya de Nicaragua, which is an absolute banger of a price, but it's also very unique because not a lot of cigars have two different wrappers. So I think the bottom portion of the wrapper is the Nicaraguan Criollo, and the top portion is the Ecuadorian Connecticut. And so you go from a lighter shade wrapper to a darker shade wrapper. And I thought that was really neat and probably a very good experience. So I'm looking forward to actually picking that up myself and trying it out.
So my next one, actually, Precious picked this one out. My wife picked this one out. She went shopping with me. And this is probably, I think this is one of our smaller cigars of the night. There might be one more. No, this is the smallest of the night. This is the Deadwood Leather Rose Maduro. This is 4x43, and it is an Indonesian binder, Nicaraguan filler with a Brazilian wrapper. I actually haven't had this one yet, but I'm looking forward to it, mostly because the time commitment isn't going to be as great on this. So this will be a good like little break time smoke. But very cool. Like the band on is really amazing. Really good artwork.
Yeah.
I like it. Might get that tattooed.
So my next cigar is the Plasencia Reserva Original. This actually made the top 25 list of Cigar Aficionado. Comes in at $8.25. It is a 4 and a quarter by 52 Robusto. The wrapper, binder, and filler are all from Nicaragua. And this is just the OG Plasencia cigar, and there are a lot of companies that have cigars that come out of Nicaragua, and the Plasencia farm has some of the best Nicaraguan tobacco. I would say Plasencia and Joya are the two companies that really pump out really amazing tobacco from that part of the country.
Yeah.
So you should try it if you have not tried it yet, for sure.
I feel like there's these cigars that keep appearing in our list over and over and over, or brands, I guess, which is Joya, Drew Estate, Plasencia, but those ones seem to pop up constantly.
Yep.
It's interesting. All right, my next one is Leaf by Oscar. I mean, like, the way that's put together alone is enough to make you want to buy this. I think it's pretty cool. This is $8.55. On the outside, you'll see where it says Sumatra, which is in Indonesia. So, just take a guess where most things come from. It is got a Honduran binder and filler with a Ecuadorian wrapper. It's 6x50, and like I said, it costs just below $9. I've seen them as cheap as about $7.50, and I've seen them as much as $9. But this one specifically, I paid $8.55, and that's the Toro version. Good smoke. Haven't had it.
My next cigar is from a cigar company that I have heard tons of stuff about. The Warfighter 50 Cal Field Maduro. It comes in at $8.50 for a 5x52 Robusto. Wrapper is Habano Maduro. Binder is Nicaraguan Habano. And the filler is from both Nicaragua and Colombia. This is just like a dark, chocolatey looking, oily cigar, and I can't wait to try it. I've heard that, you get notes of coffee, cocoa, spice. So, Warfighter is, I think, a relatively new cigar brand, but has taken a lot of people by storm as far as like popularity. So it's definitely a cigar that I am looking at getting.
Yeah, that's one I don't
A few moments later.
All right, yeah, that's actually one I would like to try. My last is going to be the Romeo San Andreas. This is a pretty good cigar. This is obviously from Romeo and Juliet. This is kind of a line that they made to be more with the boutique cigars. Like you can see, it's not branded the same. They kind of made it a little bit more modern looking. However, it still has the same good smoke to it. You don't have to I haven't had to relight these. They're actually really good, and they're under $10. And this is a Robusto. This is Mexican wrapper, Dominican and Nicaraguan fillers, so pretty decent. It's a good smoke in my opinion.
Cool.
All these actually are good. Except for the ones I haven't had. I really want to try the Warfighter.
Yeah,
pretty excited about that one.
And the last one that I have on my list, because I do have an extra one, is from Don Barton Tobacco and Trust. It is called the Micarita, and that is in a gordita. They call it the Micarita Gordita. It is $8.65, a 4 1/4 by 48 Parejo. Wrapper is Connecticut broadleaf, binder and filler from Nicaragua. Micarita, if you don't know anything about Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust, it is a very popular brand because of the person that created it. Specifically, his name is Steve Saka. Now, Steve Saka headed up Drew Estate until 2013 when he retired from Drew Estate. And he founded Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust in 2015. So he's actually one of the creators of the Liga Privada line. So a lot of his cigars that he's making over in Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust, they're all bangers. I haven't heard one negative review about a Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust cigar. So it's definitely a cigar that you should, try and get if you can get your hands on it. Yeah.
It's cool because when you think of when we were first making the list, I really thought we were going to end up with a bunch of unbanded kind of, farm rolled type stuff, right? I really did. I was like, oh, we're going to not be able to find things under $10 and even under $8 at that. So it's really cool to see that we have a list actually of top branded cigars that are still cost effective.
Yep. I actually have a couple of honorable mentions that are just sitting here in my humidor that I thought I'd pull out and just show the audience. First, the Alec Bradley Connecticut. That is a Robusto size. That somewhere like $7 or something like that. And these last two are actually short filler cigars. So for those that don't know what a short filler cigar is they're called Cuban sandwiches, are also called bundled sticks, and they are made from the excess of um, premium cigars, and they're still classified as premium cigars. They have short filler instead of long filler. Sometimes they can have some construction issues, like when you're burning down, but these cigars are still using the same exact premium tobacco in the other cigar lines, just at a very low, affordable price. For example, this is a Drew Estate factory smoke, and that runs like $2 a stick. And that's the Maduro. And this one is from my father. I had this one recently. Excellent stick. It is the My Father Tobacco's Bias SF, which stands for short filler. Also runs probably around like $2.50. So don't knock bundled cigars. There are a ton of them. Like I was saying earlier, when people aren't smoking, their $15 Drew Estate cigar while mowing the lawn. It's the short filler cigars that people are smoking when they're doing stuff around the house, or out in their backyard grilling or something like that. And they're really good. Like this Tobacco's Bias, I was very surprised. It probably rivaled some of the more premium cigars that I had smoked recently. So, short filler cigars. Get yourself some Cuban sandwiches.
So I had actually not heard the Cuban sandwich term. I like that.
Yep.
That's the show for tonight.
That is.
I actually like this episode. I really like it when we do stuff that is like, for everyday smokes. And even for like new smokers, you can pick these up and not be, $40-$50 in trying something. They're all still really good. So.
Or you can get a whole 25-50 of these for for $50, you know what I mean? So
that's true.
All right.
Those are good.
Well, yeah, they're very good. They're very good. All right, folks. Well, thank you for tuning in for the first episode of 2023, the Cigar Advisors Podcast. As you see, we have a little bit different look, different intro. Me and Matt discussed that. I think every year we're going to rebrand, and that way we have new, refreshing content coming your way. Look out for new merch designs sometime later this year. If you feel like donating to us, we do have links for that in our link tree in the bio. Check us out on Instagram and all your other social medias.
Perfect. All right. Good episode. Deuces.
All right. See you guys later.
Looking for the ultimate resource to find the best cigar bars in your area? Want to hang out with the folks who have the same passion for cigars as you? Do you want to find a cigar lounge with like-minded individuals to relax, network, and get together with friends? This is what the Cigars Advisors are here for. A state-of-the-art platform that allows all cigar lovers to locate cigar lounges and bars. This is a place where everyone can come together, share their thoughts, and review their favorite cigar spots without any restrictions. Find your new favorite cigar lounge now by visiting thecigaradvisor.com.